Sorry, can you go to the beginning of the step, please?
Yeah, so the first thing I would do is make all these black outlines uh, on their own layer, it can be like a template, and so that it's not just merged all into the same layer as your sketch. Uh, so here's a quick little thing. Yeah, so then if you have this on its own layer, you can drop the opacity down and like not be affected by this, because this is a pretty thick, dark black line that might affect how you sketch things out compositionally, because it does have a lot of weight, this thickness of a line.
Hmm.
So you could use that as a template, and then you can just copy this template around to wherever you need to go to the other ones.
So did you use the marquee tool first and then press a new layer?
No. Well, so if I was gonna do it from scratch, from nothing, I would make a new layer, get the marquee tool. Uh, you you actually need this to be at what were the dimensions?
Not sure. I think this is.
It does need to be like exactly the dimensions that the magazine needs. So 4 wide by 5.5 tall. And yours are kind of a square almost, so it's the wrong ratio to starting off with. So if it was me, I would make a new file and type in those dimensions. For width 4 inches by, what did I say, 5.5? Yeah, 4 wide by 5.5 tall. So width 4, height 5.5. Uh, CMYK. Now, if you look at it, this is the ratio of like what your illustration is supposed to be. And if you look compared to how you compose them, yours are almost square. So that has caused more work for yourself because the dimensions aren't right. The ratio is not right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so, that's not good because the art director is going to be like, what is this? This is not the right size. So maybe some of these it's easy for you to recompose in this taller format. Maybe some of them will take more work. I don't know. Uh, but I just saw a tweet from an art director saying some of the important things that makes him work with the artist again. And like number two was like being able to follow instructions like dimensions and stuff. Uh, and number one, I think, was being late. He said he had to put 2 artists in his mental memory bank to never work with again because they were like late on the deadline. Let me see if I can find that tweet later though. Okay, so what was my point of all this? So if I was gonna do a sketch, yeah, I would make the document like the size of the thing, and then there might be a better way to do this or not. I don't know. So I usually try to just make my guides some other color. So I would make a new layer and then fill it in. So Option Delete to fill with the foreground color of red. There's many ways to fill stuff. And then I'm just doing a little trick. I'm doing Command A to select all. So you can see the marching ants around the entire border of the thing. I'm going to do select, modify, and tract by 2 pixels. So it's going to shrink by 2 pixels, leaving a 2 pixel border around everything. So if you look, it did shrink that selection down by 2 pixels. So now if I press delete, it's going to leave that border around the whole thing, that red border. So you can't really see it here. But so now if you want to do it like you did, which is, not a bad idea to do it so you can see all of your sketches in one panel, on one document, then you could just drag over this red border that you made. And since you're in grayscale, it's not showing the red, but then you have this line that's like the dimension. And so since you know that this is the right ratio and everything, you could shrink it down because the sketches don't actually have to be like at the actual size of the illustration because they're just sketches. I just recommend it though, so you don't mess up and forget to change the size and make it larger when it's time to do the final art. So you can see the magenta lines are helping you all line stuff up. The smart guys, those are the smart guides. So, you can copy these squares around to be your guides. So I guess you could see that 6 don't really fit on there because you have the dimensions wrong. But you could always uh, do canvas size. So image size will make everything bigger. So like those boxes, it'll make like everything. Canvas size only makes the canvas larger, which, as you can see here, it's just added more canvas. It didn't increase the size of everything else. Now maybe I can copy down 2 more boxes. Yeah, so we can fit 6 on there now. And I'm just saving it quickly. So, so that's how I would start out if it was me and then I would, just to save my sanity, I would just merge all of these down. So Command E is merge, and I can't remember where merge is in here, but maybe it's over here. Merge layers, Command E. So it's turned all of those template border layers into just one layer, and I'll just even label it so I don't get confused. So a quick way to find out if something's on a layer or not, or it's just blank layer, you can just hold Command and click on the thumbnail, the layer thumbnail, and if it says no pixels selected, then you know it's empty. Because that means it selects pixels on the layer. Like if I do it to this template, I just did it, and of course there's something on the layer, so it selected, the template. But this layer is just blank because I did it, and it says no pixels selected. So you can either delete the layer, or I'm just going to use it as my sketch. Let's just say I make a layer group, sketch 1. So then now I'm in sketch 1, and I can go outside the box and not have to worry about messing up the border. And so you can do this at any stage of the thing, but if you take the magic wand, so I'm turning off everything so the computer's got a clean line to grab. So if I take the magic wand and I select in all these boxes, or no, I want to hide everything outside the box. So I'm selecting everything that's outside the boxes now. Q for quick mask is what you can see. And so now if I turn this back on, you can see I've gone outside the lines with my sketching. But if I add a layer mask, so it did the opposite of what I wanted. So if I have to do Command Shift I to do select inverse, so now it'll do the thing I want it to do. And I add the layer mask here. You can see the layer mask is masking out everything outside of the boxes. So it's masking out all of the lines that I made. So I can still try to break out here, but it's masked out. And if you hide this, you can see all those lines I made. That's one way to contain your sketches. And you know, even if you're pressed for time, you could still even go over to here. Of course, if I draw all the way through, it's gonna go through to there too, because it's masking out the in-between stuff. So, you know, that's a way to contain all your sketches and keep them clean and stuff. And then a quick way, I know you didn't ask for all this, but a quick way to add thickness to like this template line if it's too skinny to see, if you double click on layers, it brings up this layer style thing. I'm sure there's another way to do it without double clicking. I don't know, but anyway, double clicking on it, let's just say for now, if you go to stroke, right now it's adding an 8 pixel stroke around all the pixels, and all the pixels are the template line. So, you know, let's say I want it to be red. Oh, well, you're in grayscale anyway, so black. If I wanted it, you know, the line a little thicker, I can just add a 3-point stroke on there. And it's on there as an effect that's not permanent. Like I can turn the eyeball off, on and off on this effect. You know, so that's the thing. So that, you know, you can do this to illustrated elements too. Like I'm gonna make a new layer. Just gonna make a star. Now I'm gonna do that same trick to this star. Double click on it to get the layer style panel up. I'm pressing on stroke and it's doing a 3-point stroke here. 50 is too crazy for it, but you know, you can also, oh, you're in grayscale, so there's no color, but you can get some effects going on in here. So it's not just for templates and stuff. Okay, you didn't ask for all that. What did you ask for? Just, I started looking at your sketches. Okay, let's go back to your sketches.
Some of them I know I can push into the dimensions. Like top second one I can push into